Welcome guys, Vengex here with yet another deck profile. This one is James Flambard's Heroes deck, which unfortunately went X4 on main. Yeah, so let's get right to it.
So first I play is something that every hero player needs to play, because otherwise they lose to boards being built, is Nibiru. See, this card I lose to myself, but you can normally out Nibiru if you have one Mass Change and a Malicious Engrave. So you could at least end on Darklaw and you have a big token as well.
I think this is the hero's favourite card, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, another hand trap that's needed to be played, Ash Blossom. Now, this card is really good against Orcust. If you stop them from using Horror Harp, they lose.
Okay. And if you was playing, what would you Ash in Heroes? What would be Ash's target? What would be the Ash target?
What would be the best Ash target? Increase. Because they can't extend into Vion to send Malicious or any Destiny hero to the graveyard. So unless they've started by activating Fusion Destiny and they've gone Increase effect, then Ash the Increase otherwise. Or Ash, if they've just gone Emergency Call and you think that they don't have another card in hand to extend, Ash the Stratos or the Emergency Call. Because otherwise they can't plus. That's it for hand traps because they don't have impermanence.
Yep.
Next is for the hero lineup for Vision Heroes, we play Triple Faris. This is the best card in the deck. This is what made Heroes playable again. Because before they had to bank on Isolde, which made them lose to one hand trap, Ash. Now, this extends the plays to a point where you can always have at least 2 hero monsters to go into your extra deck. So if you're able to discard a Malicious, you can always end on maybe a Dystopia Decimator or a Plasma with like Honest Neos in hand. It's really hard to get over that unless they have something like Nibiru to counteract it.
Yeah.
Next is 2 Increase. This is the second best card in the deck because this gives you another 2 monsters. So if you open Solid Soldier, you open the game by having at least 4 monsters if you have this Solid Soldier and Stratos with another hero in hand. If you also open a Hero Lives, you'll have 5 heroes, which means you might be able to open a board of Decimator, Dystopia, Plasma, and Darklaw, which is generally
pretty strong.
Yeah. But again, it loses to Nibiru because you summon a crap ton of times. Next is Vision Hero Vion. Now, this card can either get Mist in the graveyard, Malicious in the graveyard, Celestial for next turn, another Faris that you have a card for, Malicious Bane, which I will explain to you later. Here we start the Elemental Hero lineup, which will be 1 Honest Neos. This card is generally dumb. If you want to get over a big monster, this is how you do it. If you've used all of your resources, or you're starting an opening turn, make sure that you use this at some point in the game, because this will get you over a Nibiru, it will get you over a...
It's good for OTKs as well.
It's also really good for OTKs. I'll explain why when I get to my extra deck. Next is the bread and butter. 2 Shadow Mists, 1 Solid Soldier, and the funny card, which apparently has been bought to free. Did you know?
Stratos.
So,
as long as I don't bring Monster Reborn back to free, it's fine.
No. Monster Reborn needs to be at free. Unless, maybe they give us a Hero Lives at free. That'd be fine. So this lets you search Mass Change or search a hero monster. So when it's special summoned, you add Mass Change. When it's sent to the graveyard, you search a hero monster.
You can only use that effect once. You can't use both effects once per turn. Yeah, you can
only use one effect per turn.
Yeah.
So you choose one, which is the one bad thing about Mist. So you have to either decide whether you want to build a board without Mass Change, or if you can't, you can
basically deciding whether you want to go into Darklaw or not.
Yeah, you don't always have to go to Darklaw. There are better boards sometimes. But Solid Soldier, this will allow you to summon this back when it's sent to the graveyard via Poly, via Mask Change.
Basically via spell effect.
Via spell effect. Stratos, now this card's important. I mean, the deck could be playable with it at 1, right?
It's more consistent at 3.
But it's way too consistent at 3, right? But the problem is, if you open Increase in your hand, you have to bank on opening a Stratos, because otherwise you can't extend at all. So you have to always make sure that you start off with Stratos.
When we Stratos, how was the secondary effect destroying back row? Did you come off much anymore? in matches, or was it more just search?
It was more search because not many people were playing too many back row decks. I played against Altergeist, and the only time I would have ever used the effect, I had Red Reboot instead, so I was able to out that. So that's the hero line. The
elemental hero lineup. Yeah.
Now we're at the Destiny hero lineup. I don't know why they fucking bought this back at free. I'm sorry, but you get a plus off it off Cross Crusader, and you also get an extra monster. So you can waste a Mali as well as having an extra out to Nibiru. I don't know anymore. Right, and then there's Celestial. Now this card, a lot of people were sleeping on it before. Back in Gumbler format, they were like, Celestial shit. But no, because you used to be able to add it with Isolde, so that you could ditch it off Gumbler effect, and you get a +2 next turn, which was just ridiculous.
Now you can send it via.
And now you can send it and still get a +2,
yeah.
which is possibly another card, which will be the last hero card, obviously. The final Destiny hero card. Now this card is one of the dumbest Destiny hero cards that you'll ever see. His name is Plasma. Now this guy, I literally, sometimes you can just open Plasma and Honest Neos and people cannot get over it. Because they can't use an effect to out it, and they can't super poly one monster. So you literally just sit on this, Honest Neos, and they just have to set one pass, and then you go, fuck, on the next turn, with the next cards, which I'm going to explain. So that's all the Destiny heroes.
And now finally, the most stupid card of the bloody deck.
Yeah. Did you know you only play one evil hero at Dusted Gold? Now this card is your bank. But no, basically this card allows you to search for a Dark Calling, which will allow you to summon a card called Malicious Bane, which is just dumb. It's a board wipe. It's
basically Raigeki on legs, can't be destroyed by battle or card effects.
Yeah, it's dumb. And you can add this card with Stratos, with Mist, with
Cross
Crusader, who I'm from now on going to be calling Gucci Crusader.
Why Gucci Crusader?
Yeah, I just came up with that on the spot.
Okay.
Comedic genius. Finally, we're on the spells. So we're playing 1 poly.
Yeah.
3 super poly.
How good is super poly against a mirror match?
Oh my god! So you can either summon Trinity, which is OTK fodder, or you can summon Adoration, so that you could link 2 into Cross Crusader without having to
use your own monsters.
Without having to use your own monsters, which is just victory. Like, I don't know why people don't side Trinity for Super Poly for a fucking hero matchup, because it's just so dumb. Alright, Anyway. Triple Master Change. Now this card is called Darklaw. Simply.
Pretty much.
Or you can go into something like Diane to try and out Impermanence, or Veiler. Or you can go Blast if they try to Impermanence to Stratos.
Yeah.
It's really good, and it's a quick play, so you can chain it to anything. The last, I've got 4 more fusion cards. One of them is this card, Dark Calling. Now, this unadjusted gold, this is Malicious Bane. As long as you have a Faris Engrave, which you will after linking off into extra.
Well, basically requires adjusted gold and a level 5
or higher hero monster in your graveyard. So you normally get to summon Malicious Bane for free on your turn 2.
Yeah.
Which is bad. Which is the bad as in the good kind of bad.
Yeah.
Next is Triple Fusion Destiny. Now this card, that is a plus fucking free. Like, how do you out a +3 unless you open other bricks or your opponent ashes his card?
What monster do you generally summon from Fusion Destiny?
Dystopia, because it burns and it's really good in time.
So it's basically good for an OTK.
It's really good for an OTK as well. Yeah. So if you're not able to summon about 6k damage, or about 7k damage, you can use Dystopia to deal enough damage to get to the point where you will win with Honest Neos.
Yeah.
That's all the fusion spell cards. Finally, we're on the search spells and stuff like that. So first, the one-off Monster Reborn.
Yeah.
This card, this is a free Darklaw if you open Mist Faris Strauss.
Yeah, because you'll use Monster Reborn, bring back Mist,
and then
search,
you get to
change.
search change.
Yeah.
Or you can use this to resummon Stratos to search for an Honest Neos if you can already summon back with Solid Soldier. It depends on your hand, obviously.
Makes sense.
Next is another one-off, Rota. Now this card is a free level 4 warrior monster, which is a Stratos, a Solid Soldier.
What do you generally summon? What do you generally search with Rota?
Probably Stratos or Solid Soldier, because I know it's a bit awkward because you
Or is it dependent on your hand?
It's dependent on the hand, to be honest. Because Emergency Call is the other search spell in the deck.
How often did you open up Equal and Rotor?
5 times. 5 times. This card, these cards, and another hero monster
Basically full combo.
is full combo.
Yeah.
And then if you get something called Hero Lives. Now this card should be at free. I mean, they've given us Stratos and Malicious at free. Why can't we get a
Come
Hero
on, wishful
Lives?
thinking. I don't think that's going to be at free somehow. That card's pretty broken.
This is a free Stratos. This is a free Stratos. So basically, instead of having to worry about normal summoning your Stratos, like
Just
an
special summon
absolute
it
hell
instead.
end, you get a +2 on the board.
Yeah.
Oh, this card is dumb.
So you're playing no traps in the main.
No traps in the main, because I would be playing Impermanence, but
we
I
don't
feel
have
like I'm going to just take it out for Super Poly anyway,
Yep.
because Super Poly covers more ground than
Yeah,
Impermanence.
that's fair.
But yeah, that's
Cool.
the main deck. Next we have the extra deck. So first we've got the Super Poly targets,
Yep.
Predaplant, Dragostella, and Starving Venom Fusion Dragon.
How good was these in the matchups you faced?
See, I summoned this more. Because Orcust was huge. I didn't see a single Pendulum player, which made me want to tear
What
my
about
hair
against
out.
Thunder?
I didn't
Titan?
see any Thunder players either. Otherwise, I would have sided it against Thunder.
Yeah.
But if I were to side for Thunder, I would be siding Titan instead.
Yeah.
But I didn't have it obviously. So
Well, Dragostella, he's a good out to Colossus as well because you put a Predaplant counter on it. It's negated.
absolutely. So you can negate Colossus, negate search, and you need to search in heroes because it gives you so many pluses. Right. Next. These are your masked heroes. Masked hero Diane,
Yeah.
masked hero Blast,
Yeah.
Anki, and you can't play the game for 5 turns. See, this card allows you to out Impermanence and might give you a Stratos if you attack with it
Yeah.
and destroy a monster. Blast, this is an out, so there can only be one.
Yeah.
Because you can pay 500 to bounce a
Spell
spell or
trap,
trap
yeah.
to your opponent's hand. Anki, when this destroys a monster, you get to add Mask Change, so it's
Yeah.
a really good OTK
So it's
tool
basically a free Dark Lore as well.
on top of an Anki attack.
Yeah.
So unless you're just wanting to go for an OTK, you don't want to switch out Anki. Or it really depends on what your opponent's board is.
Yeah.
Because if you have Anki and they just have monsters that you can't get over, but they can't get over Anki, you just want to attack directly instead of just going for their monsters.
Yeah.
The worst matchup for this deck is True Draco. Unless you go first and you open Darklaw. As long as they don't open Chalice or the Rock Spirit, then you win.
Yeah.
If you open this card.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Darklaw. Run. If you're playing Orcust or any graveyard-based decks, even Draco, if their spells and traps can't go to the graveyard, they can't pop anything. So they can't out it. And if you have Honest Neos and Decimator, they can't attack over it because their attack is like 3/5 or something.
Yeah.
This card is big when you need it to be. Also, if you're searching or you're drawing a card of like Card of Demise, or you're playing the Mirror, or this isn't as good against Thunder Dragons. So normally you play Trinity against them, but this can hit like a Hawk in hand when they search off Dark, and then they're forced to use Hawk effect. It can be a good bait, but it's pretty RNG with its secondary effects.
Yeah.
So it all depends. Now we've got the rest of the hero fusions. First, we've got this fucking piece of shit. Now this made a lot of people angry because they would spend 5 years building a board like the Eiffel Tower, and then I'd summon this and I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I go effect, kill monsters with less attack, and they'd be like, what? And they would literally pick up the card, and they would go like that, and they would just be like, what the fuck?
How many times does this win you games?
This won me 3 games. Yeah, and I almost beat a Salad player, but he drew Nibiru as well after setting up a board of Raw Rage. I played through it, and then on with Malicious Bane and a Mist with Change Set. He goes, I go end phase. Nibiru! I'm like, no! It's so dumb. And then I played for another Raw and Rage next turn, and then he also had other cards. It was a really hard game. Next is this card. Now, this card has so many uses, especially when you're playing Nibiru. If this card's attack is different from its original, you can target one monster in the field and destroy it. So if you Nibiru your opponent and they have no follow-up, you summon Dystopia, you use Decimator, and you pop that token and you OTK.
Yeah.
Because they can't win otherwise.
Mhm.
Because they've lost their big monster, and you have another big monster on
And
board.
this is also a card that you can win in time with as well, yeah?
Yeah, because it deals... basically, if you have Celestial on grave, you can use this to target Celestial.
Is it got to be a level 4 or lower?
It has to be a level 4 or lower, nothing higher, because otherwise it would be dumb, as you'd be sending Plasma and dealing 1/9 for free. Oh my god. Alright, and finally, we've got Adoration and Trinity. Now this is the best Super Poly target in Heroes, Adoration. And this is the best OTK tool in Heroes. I played against Rob the other day. Now, we played a grudge match because he dropped. He went, I'm going to mass change Absolute Zero to kill your board. I'm like, okay, Poly, fusing 3 heroes, search Honest Neos, summon, and then I went 7-5, 7-5, 7-5. It was just game. I also played a game against an Orcus player, where he went, okay, I'm going to Galatea, I'm going to get over I'm going to negate your board so you can't go Trinity. He's like, do you have Poly in hand? I'm like, no. Activate Poly. He's like, you said you didn't have Poly. I lied. I mean, why would I tell you whether I have Poly? But yeah, this card went into Galatea 3 times. He's like, I summoned it. He was like, I scoop. Literally. Because Galatea's zone is here. It can't be destroyed. And you would go attack, attack, attack. So it's the best OTK tool against Orcust. But if you have a board going first, Orcust will not be able to play through it. Seriously. If you play it right, they will be stuck on like one monster. At best. Next are the Link monsters. So we have Wonder Driver, Cross Crusader, and Decimator. Now, the most important Link monster here is fucking Cross Crusader, alright? This card gives you pluses. Sorry. So you contribute 1 Destiny hero monster to search for any other hero monster. So you can add Plasma, you can add Faris if you haven't already used Faris. You can add a Stratos or a Solid Soldier to extend. It depends on your hand, obviously. This also allows you to special summon a Destiny hero. So if you've used Fusion Destiny to summon Dystopia, and you link Dystopia off, you can go this and then summon Dystopia in the middle zone. So you have an extra 2 zones to summon another 2 Fusion monsters. Or you can link into to Decimator, which is one of the greatest link free monsters that you could ever ask for, because it boosts every hero monster by 100 that it points to by 100 for every hero monster in the graveyard, which is really good with Dystopia because it gives you a free pop when you open this in Dystopia. And it also makes it so your Dark Claw is basically invincible unless they open a negate. Also, Wonder Driver. Now, this is one of the biggest extenders. If you go into Dark Claw when the zone points here, you can reset the mask change and then have another Dark Claw.
Yeah, so basically going to Malicious, summon Malicious, and then for next turn, yeah.
Or you can add Polymerization to extend again. It really depends on what your hand is again.
So that's the extra deck?
So that is the extra deck. And now we are on the side. So this has been changed slightly. So, Free Veiler. This was originally in the main, but I decided to swap it out for Super Poly. Finally, we got Unicorn, just in case we need to bounce a card. So if we need to use free cards to Ibli or anything like that. Finally, we've got the Lanciers, which Orcust cannot play through unless they have Called by it. They have to pass straight away, no matter what they do. Unless they're summoning Gizmek on your turn, they have no way of winning. Imperial Order. Now this is my out to Pendulum, if I go first. So first you set up a board, you go Mass Change, so you go Imperial Order Chain.
You basically set your board up and use Imperial Order.
Yeah, basically. It depends on chain links as to whether it harms you or not, but otherwise you're good. Dark Rhino more. This is how you out Guard Dragon. I didn't play against Guard Dragon, weirdly, because I thought there were like 5 Guard Dragon players in the room. Like 50, something like that. But you can also use this against Orcust to negate Dingirsu effect if you need to pop a board. Or you can use this to stop Inspector Border, because Inspector Border is a dumb card and should have been banned 5 years ago. Finally, this is your out to Macro decks. It's called Red Reboot. Now, in my round 1, I played against Altergeist. He went, I went, okay, I'm going to activate Hero Lives. He went, then he went, activate Judgment, and I went, Red Reboot. He's like, okay. Thanks to, he could, because I negated the activation of the card, he couldn't summon Faker off it. And because he couldn't use any more trap cards, I won that turn.
Mm.
He had no hand traps. It was just over.
Yeah.
And because of Red Rubu, again, I have baited out a Judgment to win game 3. So it's all... This card is generally good against back row decks.
Cool.
It's also good against Salamangreat and Orcus, depending on what they start with.
Yeah.
If you know that they lean towards Crescendo, always side this. Because if you stop Crescendo, you win the game.
Yeah.
Because the amount of damage heroes can do is dumb. it's just dumb. So
Cool.
that's the side deck.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for the deck profile. Before we leave, any shout outs you want to do?
Shout out to Rob for being bad. Shout out to Sam. He's a pretty cool guy. Lee as well for buying some of the cards I needed to make the deck, as well as my mum, who literally got me the entire deck together again because I lost it after the Sneak Attack Regional. I know, I'm an idiot. It fell out on the train or something. I don't know. I mean, if we found it, I'd be happy because I'd get my LT Stratos back as well. So, guys, I'd also like to thank Team.black Rose itself because everybody was really nice at the YCS. And I believed in them and they believed in me, even if I didn't do that well. As a team, we did well enough. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching and leave you to...
Cool. So, yeah, if you like the profile, post comments, subscribe, and like. Thank you.